12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, is a self-help book by Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist and professor. In the book, Peterson presents 12 rules that he believes can help individuals lead a more fulfilling and meaningful life. In the introduction, Peterson explains that the book is not just a collection of advice, but rather a personal manifesto on how to live a meaningful life. He argues that many people today are feeling lost and aimless, and that the rules he presents in the book can help them find direction and purpose. Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. The first rule is to stand up straight with your shoulders back. Peterson argues that posture is not just a physical thing, but also a psychological and emotional one. He suggests that by standing up straight, one can change the way they think and feel, and become more confident and assertive. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling with depression for years. By consciously working on his posture, he was able to improve his mood and overcome his depression. Rule 2. Treat yourself like you would someone you're responsible for helping. The second rule is to treat yourself like you would someone you are responsible for helping. Peterson argues that individuals should be kind and compassionate towards themselves and take care of their own needs, as they would for a loved one. He emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's own life and to not blame others for their problems. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling with addiction, and how by treating himself with kindness and compassion, he was able to overcome his addiction and improve his life. Rule 3. Make at least one thing better each place you find. The third rule is to make at least one thing better each place you find. Peterson argues that individuals should strive to make the world a better place, both for themselves and for others. He suggests that by taking small actions to improve their surroundings, individuals can make a positive impact in the world. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling with anxiety, and how by taking small steps to improve her environment, she was able to reduce her anxiety and improve her life. Rule 4. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday, not with who someone else is today. The fourth rule is to compare yourself with who you were yesterday, not with who someone else is today. Peterson argues that individuals should focus on their own personal growth and development, rather than comparing themselves to others. He suggests that by focusing on their own progress, individuals can be more content and satisfied with their lives. Rule 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. The fifth rule is to not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Peterson argues that parents should set boundaries and discipline their children in a way that helps them develop self-control and responsibility. He suggests that by setting clear rules and consequences, parents can help their children become responsible adults. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a parent who had been struggling to discipline her child, and how by setting clear boundaries and consequences, she was able to improve her child's behavior and their relationship. Rule 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. The sixth rule is to set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Peterson argues that individuals should focus on improving themselves and their own lives before trying to change the world. He suggests that by taking care of their own responsibilities and problems, individuals can be more effective in making a positive change in the world. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling with procrastination, and how by setting his own house in order, he was able to improve his life and make a positive impact on the world. Rule 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. The seventh rule is to pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Peterson argues that individuals should focus on finding meaning and purpose in their lives, rather than just chasing after what is easy or convenient. He suggests that by pursuing what is meaningful, individuals can lead a more fulfilling and satisfying life. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling to find purpose in her life, and how by focusing on what was meaningful to her, she was able to find fulfillment and satisfaction. Rule 8. Tell the truth, or, at least, don't lie. The eighth rule is to tell the truth, or at least not lie. Peterson argues that individuals should be honest and truthful in their relationships and interactions with others. He suggests that by being honest, individuals can build trust and respect in their relationships and live a more authentic life. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling with dishonesty, and how by being truthful, she was able to improve her relationships and live a more authentic life. Rule 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. The ninth rule is to assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Peterson argues that individuals should be open-minded and willing to listen to others and learn from them. He suggests that by approaching others with curiosity and a willingness to learn, individuals can broaden their perspective and understanding of the world. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling to understand a different culture and how by listening to people from that culture and assuming they might know something he didn't, he was able to understand and appreciate the culture better. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. The 10th rule is to be precise in your speech. Peterson argues that individuals should take care in their choice of words and be clear and accurate in their communication. He suggests that by being precise in their speech, individuals can avoid misunderstandings and conflicts and effectively convey their ideas. As an example, Peterson mentions the story of a patient who had been struggling to express herself and how by being precise in her speech, she was able to communicate her ideas more effectively. Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. The 11th rule is to not bother children when they are skateboarding. Peterson argues that children should be given the freedom to explore and take risks in order to learn and grow. He suggests that by allowing children to explore and learn on their own, parents can help them become more confident and resilient. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Jordan Peterson uses this rule to illustrate the importance of simple, positive interactions in our daily lives. The author argues that small acts of kindness and connection, such as petting a cat, can have a big impact on our mental and emotional well-being. He also suggests that these small acts can help us build resilience and develop the ability to cope with difficult situations. In conclusion, 12 Rules for Life is a book that offers a unique perspective on how to lead a meaningful and fulfilling life. Through a combination of personal anecdotes and psychological insights, Jordan Peterson presents a set of rules that can help individuals take control of their lives and find purpose and direction. The book emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's own life. Thank you for listening to our summary of 12 Rules for Life, an antidote to chaos. If you found the content valuable, please don't hesitate to give us a like, subscribe, and share with your friends.